Hi, I'm Tony, back with more drone business expansion strategies to help you maximize your business opportunities for success while minimizing your risks for failure. As we say in the Navy, there's a lot of scuttlebutt out there, isn't it? Right now on this special edition of Drone Pilot MBA, we break down both drone business strategy and the regulations shaping the future of our uncrewed aviation profession. Today, we're discussing the recent monumental announcement that promises to redefine the American drone landscape. New BVLOS regulations fueling America's drone revolution. Welcome to Drone Pilot MBA. We have got a lot to cover today. You know, this isn't just another regulatory tweak. It's a strategic pivot announced at a major press conference hosted by Secretary Sean Duffy of the Department of Transportation, featuring key figures like FAA Administrator Brian Bedford, Lisa Ellman, CEO of the Commercial Drone Alliance, and Heather Lee, COO of AUVSI. Now, the core message? A new regulatory framework aimed squarely at stimulating American innovation, countering foreign dominance, and enhancing safety and national security.
This department, along with the FAA, understands how important unmanned aircraft systems are for the 21st century. It's going to change the way that people and products move throughout our airspace. And again, so you may change the way you get your Amazon package. You may get a Starbucks cup of coffee from a drone. The way you get your products will fundamentally change.
The headline announcement is a groundbreaking new rule to normalize beyond visual line of sight, or BVLOS, drone operations. For years, operating a drone without a direct visual contact required a cumbersome case-by-case waiver system. Now, Administrator Bedford described this as an exception basis that created an uneven playing field. This new rule aims to replace that with a streamlined approval process, providing consistent policy and much-needed certainty for operators like us.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming out today. Just by way of introduction, I'm here with the FAA Administrator Brian Bedford. I'm also here with Lisa Ellman, CEO of the Commercial Drone Alliance, and Heather Lee, the COO of AUVSI. We were talking before we came out how excited we are. They said they've been waiting for years for this announcement. So we're excited about what we're going to announce today. We are going to unleash American drone dominance. So President Trump not long ago introduced an executive order to make sure that the cabinet put this issue on the forefront, to make sure that we lean in to our airspace when it relates to drone technology. And the problem we have is that on the consumer drone market, China controls 90% of this market. And the problem with that is we're turning over our skies to one of our main adversaries. Huge problem, and it's going to happen no longer. Now, the issue hasn't been that America just can't innovate, America can't create, America can't build amazing drone technology. It's that we've had a bureaucracy in place that makes it incredibly difficult for innovators to actually innovate, which is why we're here today.
So why is this happening now? Secretary Duffy candidly laid out the core problem. China currently controls a staggering 90% of the consumer drone market. Now, this isn't just about market share. It's a significant national security threat, and we all know that. As the sources highlight, there's a concern about turning over our skies to one of our main adversaries, and the potential for dangerous data gleaned from foreign commercial technology in U.S. airspace. Beyond geopolitics, the previous regulatory environment was described by Secretary Duffy as a bureaucracy that created an artificial ceiling on American innovation. Lisa Ellman of the Commercial Drone Alliance echoed this, noting that the labyrinth of ill-suited regulations designed for crewed aircraft severely hampered progress and allowed global competitors to surge ahead. Now, this lack of a clear, scalable regulatory path stifled businesses from growing, roadblocking our drone industry from a more expeditious evolution.
I would just note that we work very closely. We partner with our other allies in government on how do we do this the right way? How do we put safety first, the American people first? And so those conversations have been had, but this new rule will enhance safety by requiring safe separation from other drones and unmanned aircraft, if you're going to get a license to fly these. And it's going to require collision avoidance technology. We're also partnering with TSA to ensure that operations supervisors and flight coordinators are properly vetted. We want to make sure the TSA looks at who's operating these, what kind of background do they have, and make sure we have the right people, the good people, operating these drones. And so TSA has been a great partner. We're excited about this announcement today. This has been a long time coming. This was not thought up in the last 7 months. This has been going on for well over 4 or 5 years, this conversation. Under this president, we're not afraid to move and move fast, but also move safely. And I just want to end, before I turn it over to Administrator Bedford, I'm grateful for the president's leadership. He has been remarkable in seeing spaces that government has got in the way of innovation and business, and clearing the deck to make sure that we get government out of the way. We still maintain our safety mission, but we allow the creativity of the American spirit to be unleashed.
The solution, therefore, is multi-pronged. Primarily, it's about normalizing BVLOS operations, moving away from individual waivers to a more streamlined system. This directly aims to eliminate those bureaucratic hurdles, empowering innovators and businesses to create a scale to meet demand. Administrator Bedford emphasizes that this new rule will integrate drones safely into the National Airspace, NAS. Crucially, it's designed to level the playing field for U.S.-based drone providers, reducing our reliance on foreign drone technology.
But what's even more important than that is the impact that it's going to have on manufacturing, on farming, on energy production, filmmaking, medical delivery. Industry needs this rule to make sure they can use this technology that's going to allow them to do business more efficiently and effectively. And I think it's only right that America lead, because we have led in aviation since the very beginning, from the Wright brothers to Chuck Yeager, Pan Am, TWA, the jet age, all American. We are now going to also lead in the drone space as well. And so what we're here to announce today, and Administrator Bedford is going to go into some more details, but we are announcing a new rule to normalize beyond visual line of sight, or BVLOS as it's called. Operators in the past would have to get individual waivers to operate these drones. Very complicated. They were issued on a case-by-case basis. And because of that complication, I don't think we saw the innovation that we should have in America. So with this rule, we are going to eliminate that prior process, and the approval will be done in a far different way. The rules are going to completely change in the way that drone use is going to be approved. And what this is going to do is, again, allow our innovators and businesses to continue to create and innovate and change the way our industry works with the use of these drones.
A cornerstone of this new framework is an unwavering commitment to safety and national security. The rule mandates safe separation from other manned and unmanned aircraft and requires collision avoidance technology for licensed operators. Now, Secretary Duffy highlighted the importance of TSA vetting for drone operation supervisors and flight coordinators, ensuring that the right people, the good people, are in these critical roles. Now, this shift moves us from what was described as a Wild West scenario to a more regulated, common standard with surveillance and best qualified staffing. Now, on the security front, the government acknowledges the risk of bad actors. Now, the rule will allow for cordoning off airspace over large events in sensitive areas. Intergovernmental collaboration with Homeland Security and TSA is going to be key, focusing on technology and security measures to mitigate these types of threats.
Thank you, Secretary Duffy, and also my thanks to President Trump for his leadership in this. As the Secretary said, this rulemaking has been in process for well over 5 years now. A lot of thought, a lot of critical thinking has gone into the rulemaking process, but the rulemaking's not finished. We have another 60-day sprint for industry-wide comments, which we'll then take into consideration. Also, as the Secretary mentioned, this has been an intergovernment process. We've had our friends both in TSA and Homeland Security participate with us in making sure that we're thinking about all the potential threats as well as the opportunities that go with the deployment of drones. As the Secretary said, this is happening today. We have drones in operation in our skies. It's not as regulated perhaps as it should be. It's done on an exception basis, which makes it very, very difficult to manage, and it makes for an uneven playing field as well, which is frankly is a headwind for innovation.
All right, let's consider the potential benefits of this new rule. They're vast, extending far beyond simply flying drones further. Economically speaking, it's expected to create jobs and spur significant economic growth. Secretary Duffy noted drones will fundamentally change industries like manufacturing, farming, energy production, filmmaking, and medical delivery, allowing them to operate more efficiently. Heather Lee of AUVSI highlighted applications like infrastructure inspection and emergency response. This framework will unleash American creativity and innovation by removing those long-standing regulatory barriers. And for communities, the benefits could be transformative. Faster delivery from companies like Amazon, Starbucks, etc., which could lead to reduced road congestion and less fuel burn. And drones offer the promise of quick emergency response, too. And while public acceptance and noise are acknowledged concerns, speakers believe that evolving drone technology, particularly quieter designs, will lead to greater community acceptance, emphasizing community say in drone use.
We've seen our global peers and adversaries surge ahead in the deployment of commercial drone technology. This is a threat to American security and aviation innovation, two areas where we have consistently led the world. And it underscores the urgent need for us to modernize our regulations to regain our competitive edge and safeguard our national interests. We're so grateful that the White House recognized these challenges in its recent executive orders on unleashing American drone dominance and restoring American airspace sovereignty. And today, we take the next step together in establishing American leadership in drone technology. With today's proposal, the domestic drone marketplace gains certainty about what business success will look like in this new era. Investors who sat on the sidelines can now see proof that the federal government indeed supports the use of this critical technology. And American communities nationwide can start benefiting from the next generation of aviation. The release of this proposal is a long-awaited milestone, but from the industry perspective, our collective work is just beginning. We will be working diligently over the next several weeks, the next 60 days, to provide our perspective and feedback as part of the rulemaking process. Our hope is that the final rule will accelerate the expansion of commercial and public safety drone operations throughout the United States, while enhancing the safety and transparency of the national airspace. Secretary Duffy, the Commercial Drone Alliance appreciates your leadership and prioritization of commercial drone integration efforts. We look forward to working with partners across the federal government and with all relevant stakeholders to restore our global leadership in this game-changing technology. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you to the Department of Transportation, FAA, TSA, and the White House for your leadership in delivering today's long-awaited draft rule and the broader effort to unleash American drone dominance.
The press conference wasn't shy about addressing potential challenges. Concerns about airspace congestion and past incidents were brought up. However, the speakers countered that the new regulations will actually enhance safety by providing a common standard, moving away from what has been described as a Wild West scenario. On the technical front, the new rule provides much-needed certainty regarding weight limits, allowing aircraft up to 1,320 pounds to be certified. It also specifies industry consensus standards for drones, a significant improvement over previous ad hoc certification processes. This isn't an overnight decision. The rulemaking has been a long-term process, over 5 years in the making, reflecting significant thought and intergovernmental collaboration. So, what's next? Administrator Bedford highlighted a crucial 60-day public comment period for the draft rule, a sprint for industry feedback, aiming to accelerate commercial and public safety drone operations. A parallel and equally critical effort is the modernization of our air traffic control system. This initiative, with significant funding already provided, is essential to ensure the National Airspace System can safely integrate these new technologies. This entire initiative is also driven by President Trump's executive orders focused on unleashing American drone dominance and restoring American airspace sovereignty. Now, for a few additional points that came up during the press conference, just to cover all bases from our sources, Secretary Duffy briefly touched on the U.S. race to the moon with China, emphasizing the need for energy solutions like fission technology for a moon base. He also expressed concern about individualized airline pricing based on personal data, though he noted Delta has clarified they won't engage in such practices. Finally, there was a brief but important discussion about passenger behavior during plane evacuations, stressing the need to obey flight attendant instructions and leave bags behind for safety. These points, while not directly drone related, highlight the broader context of innovation, competition, and safety in transportation that the Secretary addressed. Here's your takeaway. The announcement to normalize BVLOS operations marks a strategic shift for the United States, aiming to reestablish American leadership in the drone sector. This new rule is truly a game changer for the industry, moving us from a stifling ad hoc system to a more robust, streamlined, and predictable framework. It strikes a crucial balance between fostering innovation, enhancing safety, and bolstering national security. And for drone pilots like us, businesses and investors, this represents a significant opportunity for growth and expansion in the U.S. drone market. The future of drone operations in America is clearly BVLOS. And we'll be closely keeping an eye on the public comment period and the ultimate implementation of these new rules. I would love to hear your thoughts on this matter. Do drop them in the liner notes below. And hey, if this video helped you, do me a favor. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss a new episode. If you want more growth strategies, check out my other videos and articles. There are over 200 free resources waiting for you at aerialnorthwest.com. And to watch Secretary Sean Duffy's complete press conference on unleashing American drone dominance, check the link in the show liner notes below. I want to thank you for joining me for this edition of Drone Pilot MBA. I wish you all green lights. I'll see you next time. Much love and keep on droning. If you have any questions, let us know. If you have any comments, leave them below. If you'd like to hire us, you can get more information by visiting aerialnorthwest.com. Be smart, safe, and fly responsibly.